On BBS Arise, the longest running breakfast show on Ben Television, you've been watching Ministerial Platform live from Nigeria, and I think I believe you find that very, very interesting. Please keep on calling. Let's have a conversation. If you have any views or comments to make, please feel free to join and call in on this show. Our next guest this morning is a management consultant, Funsho Akin-Agunbiade. Funsho, you're most welcome to our studio.
Thank you.
Management consultants. Why did you decide to go into management consultants?
Well, I'm a qualified accountant by profession.
Okay.
A chartered certified accountant.
Oh, okay.
I had my career in the transport industry, transport for London to be specific.
Okay.
I've been a project accountant, management accountant in a different sector, section within the company organization, and there's been a lot of restructure. So after a while, and if you work for TfL, Transport London, you must have been very trained. I've been well trained, and I thought it's time for me to share that knowledge with other people.
Okay.
So I left Transport London a couple of years ago, and I started management training consultancy.
Okay.
I have worked with Bankable in their road construction section, and I want to get into training now.
Okay.
And so I formed a company called Dollar Fund Limited.
Okay.
And I actually partner with London Academy Business School at the moment.
Okay.
To give training, specific training in business, and also we have what they call the University of Entrepreneurship.
Okay.
Which we actually train people how to become an entrepreneur.
Okay.
And we partner with the likes of Nicosia University in Cyprus, and University of Ibadan in Nigeria, and the Teesside University here. So the future is bright.
Oh, that's good. I like that. We won't talk about entrepreneurship this time around because we discussed that a lot last week. I want to talk about business plan. The reason why I say business plan is that when people want to set up business, in fact, I said we're not going to talk about entrepreneurship, and that's what we're talking about. When people want to set up a business, one of the things that they always ask them to write is a business plan. And the business plan don't get them money. And somebody said to me 2 weeks ago that the reason why they are not getting that money is that they are not writing what is called a bankable business plan. And that's the reason why you are invited on this show this morning, is to tell our viewers at home what is a bankable business plan.
A bankable business plan is a sound business plan. It's a plan that will be acceptable by main banks or major banks in the market, and or indeed any financial institution.
Okay.
And to write a very good business plan, you have to assess yourself, how well you're doing, what are your projected income, and your expenditure. Say what's your capital, how would you allocate those capital within the year and within future years, and then you compare and see the difference. And if it's positive, then or in the future, if you break even, then you have this very good business plan, and that will be acceptable. But in this climate and in this environment, even if you have a bankable business plan, the banks are under pressure as well to look at your experience, to look at your collateral. And so because you have a bankable business plan doesn't mean you're going to get it. So in the first place, you have to have a very good business plan to have a chance.
Now, managing finance, it is very, very challenging now in terms of finance. But as an accountant and a management consultant, what tips can you give those who are watching us this morning on how they can effectively manage their finances in this current climate?
It's very difficult because a lot of people are salaried workers, and they earn the same income, but the transport is going, prices are going up, everything is great, prices are going up, and you still have the same income, so it's difficult.
Exactly.
So my advice to people will be, assess yourself. You know your income, it's probably fixed, but your expenses is what you should look at. And some people might say, oh, what are my expenses? I'm not sure. If you have bank statements, go back to your bank statement for last year or for last month and look at the expenses. Put them into different periods, compare them to your income. Again, if it's positive, then you're okay. If it's not, then you have to start cutting those costs. If you have a car, you can park it and get a bicycle during the weekend, or take a bus. It might be cheaper for you. And if you have 2 cars, one big, one small, take the smaller car or the smaller engine car when you're going on a long distance. In that way, you can cut your expenses. So you have to cut your size.
What do you do? Where we come from a background, imagine you are using a Mercedes-Benz before, and because of the current climate, you decide to sell your Mercedes to go and buy a bicycle. Is that possible? How can you manage those kind of mindsets? They're fine. I don't have this money. Things are very, very challenging. What can you do when you know that you can't afford it? Because that's, based on my research, that's one of the challenges a lot of people are facing. They know that this is problematic. But how many people will drop from a Mercedes to go and buy a bicycle? What can they do when they are faced with that kind of challenge?
Well, if they listen to this sort of program, they would know that people suffer. People go bankrupt because of this line of thinking. So it's a line of thought. It's the fact that if you impress people because you want to drive a big car, they won't pay your mortgage when you can't fulfill your obligations. So you just have to face reality and look at the future. And because at least it's better to sustain sustainability, to sustain yourself rather than live big. You'd be stupid to live big, live for today and then not be able to live it for tomorrow.
There's a caller. We have a caller on the line. And good morning, caller.
Yes, good morning, Olomo.
Oh, where are you calling from and what's your comment of view this morning?
My name is Francis.
Hello,
Francis.
Like
at the juncture that you reached about a man with pens and going to buy a bicycle, like we're from Africa, that's what really enticed me, saying that I should call you to tell you this.
Yes.
You see, we've already stopped living in 10 generations ago. Because, and I would rather let you know this, that the idea that you are talking about man with a Benz, saying that I cannot afford to sell the Benz and buy a bicycle for his own comfort and to cut his coat, like this gentleman said, according to his side. It's what about that brought about corruption in Africa, not to talk about Nigeria. Because like your extended family will be pulling you and you'll be thinking that you want to look big. And that's when you dip your hands in comment covers. And this is the time we need to think and rethink and to look inward and to see that this time around, we don't need to mess up anymore or to drag our name or our father's name in the mud anymore. All what we need to do is, this life is so simple. It's just like an actor on a stage that you need to perform your own act and walk away. And that is the end of woman's life. And if we don't understand it for now, we are going to miss it entirely. This gentleman and the other guest you had from Ghana, you could see the way they are presenting this thing. Very articulate. Unlike the PDP people, I will tell you, Olomo, I'm not a party member of any party. But let us think about our people. Look at this gentleman beside you. He's talking about how to better people's life, not for his own pocket. I am telling you, let us now reason. Youth of today, I am calling you. I am shouting at the top of my voice. This is the time, let us reason together. Deviate yourself from doing bad things in this country. That was why they are now saying that £3,000 for a visiting visa to this country is a shame on us.
Thank you.
And that is what I'm going to say, Olomo.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Last word. If people want to contact you or want to get in touch with you, can you give our viewers where they can contact you, your email address or how they can contact you?
Well, they can go to www.labs.org.uk. If you go in there, you can send an email to London Academy Business School. I will be picking you up there.
Okay.
Can I just reply to the last person?
Yes,
there? I like what the last person just said, and I'll just conclude by saying a shroud has no pocket. When you're dead, there's no pocket to put all the money you have. So in Nigeria and in Africa, and indeed all over the world, we need ethical revolution, a cultural revolution, to know that you have to cut your coat according to your size.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Still on BBS Rise, the longest serving breakfast show on Ben Television. Stay tuned, don't go away. We have our last guest for this morning. See you shortly.
On fighting corruption.